All right, so here's a rough schematic of what I want to do. Bicycle helmet on head, frog head on helmet made of card foam covered in polymer, breathable mesh for the throat hanging down from the frog headpiece covering my face. I can see out of it, but other people can't see into it. Let's see. The red part on the front of my face is a plastic bowl with plenty of holes for breathing. That would be this. The purple box it's attached to is a servo, a small electric motor that can be activated with the push of a button. Voila. Ribbit. When the servo is activated, the plastic bowl flips forward, pushing the mesh out and making it look like I'm inflating my throat sac. And the maroon breathable mesh stuff, I actually found a material for that. I don't think that it was even intended to be fabric. This stuff is called interfacing. And when it came, it was actually white. It's a little bit see-through. You can see the schematic behind it. I ended up dyeing it yellow because the throat of an American bullfrog, if it's male, is yellow. And my Sona is indeed male. I don't think that I have the yellow dye bottle handy, but I didn't use all of it. I had to test it on a small corner, so if I unravel this, one of the corners is going to turn out to have a bit cut out of it. Let's see. Neither of these, so it's at the other end. Okay. And there we go. That's the corner that was cut out. And that is going to be what I'm seeing through. The whole point of this is to create something that's extremely breathable and gives me excellent visibility. That's really what I was aiming for with this whole thing. I was looking at tutorials for making fursuit headpieces online, and you know that they basically put a big foam bucket on top of your head that you can barely see out of. This one, I wanted really, really good visibility. So that's the story behind that. Oh, and just found the corner that got cut out of it. Using synthetic fabric dye, which is what I ended up using to do the interfacing, it requires you to stir and stir a near boiling pot. Not quite boiling, but near boiling, that has some dish soap in it and the dye as well. And you just have to keep stirring this around and around in it, and it is tedious, but once it's done, you can't argue with the result. You know, I'm hoping that I can add some snaps to the end of this and snap it onto some onto the foam on the inside. That way, if this gets dirty, or if some punk kid thinks it'll be funny to throw bleach at me, then I can just remove this and dye it again, and Bob's your uncle. So that is the story so far behind this. Thank you very much, Duke Corgi and Void Paradox, for getting me this far. I think that this motor is strong enough to push this or one of these bowls out. I'm definitely going to have to snip these bowls up into the correct shape to be snug in front of my face and far enough back so that it's believable. Obviously, even from this drawing, the frog headpiece that's made of foam is going to have to extend a little ways, probably several inches in front of my face to actually get this to the point of believability. And even though I've got fabric down the back, I'm suspecting that this part is going to be foam as well. What I want to do is take the frog ear pads and put 2 of those in the back, and then have the foam shaped such that I can stick a couple of O2 cool fans in. There'll be a little slit in each of the ear pads on the bottom so that air can come in, and then those O2 cool fans can keep me cool on the inside. And ideally, I'd like an O2 cool fan on the top that can take the hot air and like blast it out the nostrils. So I'm going to have to drill some pretty long holes in there to make that happen. This is a fairly ambitious project. It might not end up being this elaborate. I mean, for all I know, one O2 cool fan on the top that blows things out the nostrils, that might give me enough ventilation. I don't know. I mean, this is very much breathable. I believe I put it in front of my face once just to see how breathable it is, and it's very, very breathable. I could probably wear it indefinitely and still get all the oxygen I need and then some. But still, having cooling fans is going to be better than not having cooling fans. I mean, they put these holes in the top of the helmet for a reason. Anyways, I think that's approximately it. I can't think of anything else to show for the moment. Shoot. I think the next steps are going to be figuring out how to mount this thing on here. I mean, I know that once I get the nylon fabric off of this, I'm going to have to very quickly snip the Hades out of it. Otherwise, it's going to be a big, unwieldy tangle of very eye-pokeable metal spokes. So, yeah, I'm going to want to dismantle this all on the same day. And I'm also going to want the pivot or hinge or axle or whatever you want to call it of this servo to be on the same line as a couple of these hinges. So I'm thinking it's going to be like a couple of these extend outwards a little ways, far enough so that this lines up with the other hinges. The servo is going to be in front of this. The servo is going to be in front of this, extending outwards. Then one of these two is going to end up being snipped up and turn into a mask that goes over my face. It's going to have air holes in it, obviously. And then I'm going to have to set this up such that when the button is pushed, the mask extends outwards. Yeah. Once I get that working, then I will be able to think about using foam and liquid latex to sculpt the actual frog head. And I am going to have to think hard about it because I definitely need something for this to snap onto. So hopefully that's a pretty decent explanation of what I've been up to here. Oh, and I was talking earlier in another video probably about how I didn't have the dye on hand, but this is the dye that I used. Daffodil Yellow Synthetic Fiber Dye. This stuff really worked with that interfacing. Let's see, I thought that I had preserved the label on the interfacing. Yeah, this fishing pole, it's going to be one of my props. Oh boy. Yeah, I do not see that label, which is too bad. I could have swore that I had kept that label, but oh well.